Hi Dean. Tough game last night against Birmingham. What are your thoughts sort of 24 hours on?
Well, we wasn't at our best first half. I think that was clear to see. Individually as a team, we didn't get anywhere near our level, certainly of recent weeks. Birmingham are a good team, they're a strong side. They were always going to come in and sit in and make it difficult for us. They've got a Premier League striker, in my opinion, up front in Che Adams, and they did what they came here to do. Unfortunately for us, we weren't able to get our performance going in the first half. Gaffer made a couple of substitutions at half time. We had a goal second half. Losing that second just after half time is tough to take. But at the same time, we always have a go. The players always throw the kitchen sink at a game in every single week, and we did that again, and we could have easily got a point out of the game. But ultimately, if we're being honest with ourselves, which we always are, we wasn't at the races first half, and we'll be looking to bounce back quickly against a good Preston team on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much was it Birmingham City being very good, Bristol City not being quite on it?
Well, Birmingham came here and did what they wanted to do. As I say, my concern is with our squad and our players. And as I say, individually, we didn't get to our level. We didn't look like we played with enough energy, with enough aggression. In possession of the ball, we wasn't as good as we usually are. The distances were quite big all over the pitch. We weren't able to get our style going, and we didn't build any real momentum in that first half. Any waves of attack, anything really for the supporters to get out of the seats. And as I say, at half time there was a couple of things said and a couple of changes made, and second half we finished, as I say, stronger. But we know, the players are fully aware that our game is better than that, and our standards are better than that. And we're hoping it's one of them games you put it to bed. We'll do what we did during the run when we were winning games. We'll debrief like we did this morning. We'll move on quickly. The sun's shining today. The players have been back out on the grass, which is where they want to be, and we've got a fantastic game against, as I say, a tough Preston team on Saturday.
Do you think the intensity of the Norwich game maybe had an effect last night? Lee kind of hinted that maybe it might have done.
I don't think so. The Championship is a tough season. We're all aware of that. That's what we sign up for when you join this division, and it's a great challenge. It really is. For us, we're not even thinking about that. We're thinking about firing on all cylinders against Preston. I think sometimes, a lot of the time, it can be mental as well. The challenges, can become draining mentally, and it's our job as a staff to, as I say, to free the players up, to give them that energy, and to make them believe that anything is possible. And I truly think that the players are capable of so much. We've got so much belief as a staff in this squad of players. We're lucky with injuries this year. We've only got Frankie and Corey at the moment out injured, so we've got a real good squad depth, which may allow us to rotate tactically if needed be. But now the players have got to be ready for a challenge every Saturday, Tuesday. Now take away that international break that we've got coming up in a fortnight, 3 weeks' time. We've got it all on Saturday, Tuesday from now to the end of the season, with a fantastic prize at the end of it. It's a great position to be in. We embrace the challenge, and we move on quickly. We're still hurting from last night, but don't mean to say you have to mope around. We're in charge of how we respond to adversity, and that's what last night was. It was 3 points that were taken away from us. We move on.
Yeah, I was going to say the Championship is such a crazy season. You kind of mentioned it there, and it was only a couple of weeks ago, I think, we were talking about how Bristol City were the most informed team in Europe, and now all of a sudden it's 3 losses, obviously one of them in the FA Cup, but with a tricky trip to Preston up next, and I guess that's league football, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that's for your job, and you're very good at that, I have to say. People in the media are catastrophising things and making things bigger than they are. There's not making a mountain out of a molehill. We've lost a couple of games. A top Norwich team at the weekend, who had a 20-minute spell second half and blew us away. And as I say, last night we weren't at the races. We're not thinking any more than that. We've got a very, very good squad of players. Nobody works harder than us as a players or as staff, and that's all we're focusing on.
Mike Taylor grabbed an assist last night. I believe that's 3 assists and 4 goals in 8 league starts for him. Is he unfortunate not to have had more starts this season?
Matt is a very, very good player. He's a fantastic character off the pitch. He's a big part of the dressing room, and I think everybody, in fairness to the lads, deserve a shot at some point. They're all training very, very well. They're all applying themselves as professionally as possible, and they'll all want the shirt. You know, we've lost, as you say, we've lost a couple of games, and now they'll want the shirt. And this is that competition in the squad. You know, we've got a great team spirit, but at the same time, you want to win that battle of your position, and that's what we've created by building a good squad. And it's up to us as a staff, as I say, to get the team selection right. But Matty came on, had an impact last night, as you say, and another goal for Fam. So we move on.
Did Lee Johnson missing from the sidelines, could that have had an effect last night?
No, I don't think so. You know, I was obviously had the earpiece up to the gaffer up in the stand. He had a great, probably the best view in the house, up in the director's box, and very, very clear in his communication. No issues at all with anything tactically. So no, I don't think so. I think if we'd have won the game or lost the game, I don't think that played any real part. It was one game. You know, the gaffer belongs in the technical area, and he'll be back, thankfully, at Preston. So, you know, that's fine.
Seeing the pictures of Lee up there, you could see him sat next to Sam Stanton, who Lee sort of mentioned in his pre-match press conference for Birmingham as being a key figure for him, because he'd be sat next to him. Sam is obviously an analyst. Can you tell us a bit more about the role that he plays? Because he's maybe one of the guys, backroom staff, that obviously regular fans don't really hear about so much, but I guess he's one of the many guys who play a pretty vital role.
Absolutely, yeah. He shares the same office as the coaches, next door to the gaffer's office. He heads up a department with some fantastic analysts we've got at the club, with Luke and Alex as well. And as you say there, he's a vital member of the team. He's as vital a member as the star player, just as Jen and the chef and Dale are in the kitchen. And that may sound stupid, but if they don't do their best work on a daily basis, something will fall apart at some point. Scotty the kit man, you know. So everybody plays a huge part, and the analyst team, yeah, we spend, myself and Macca and the gaffer, hours and hours going through opposition, and whether it's upcoming training sessions. Everybody's free to bring new ideas, and no, we feel very lucky. We're very lucky with the backroom staff that we've got, and the support team, as you say there, because a lot of people see the manager and the staff and the coaching staff, but no, we're very appreciative of the work that goes in. They work, you know, that side of the support staff, the physios, the analysts, the sports science. You know, they put some real hours in. You know, sometimes when the players and the coaching staff are having the odd day off here and there, you know, they'll be working most of the time. So now we do a great job. Yeah,
I was going to say that those guys, don't they clip together the little video bits that the players look at on the app, and maybe you guys use in the presentations, I would imagine, before matches and stuff. Is that the role that they chiefly do, and how vital is that?
Well, there's many parts to what they do. I mean, the department's split up. So Luke Coles will go out and he'll be watching next week's opponents this weekend, and he'll come back. And so, for example, just before I've come here today, we've just had an hour's meeting, myself, Macca, Gaffer, and Luke and Sam, the two analysts, and we've sat through Preston North End. So we've gone through some clips, and Luke and Sam have put all that together, their strengths and weaknesses, who's suspended, who's fit, who's likely to be in the squad, all that information, and hours and hours and hours. You can't. In fact, I think Jens Hegler did a story recently with yourself, I believe, about pre-season when he was injured, and the gaffer wanted to sort of keep him involved, and he allowed Jens to do that role really for one of the pre-season games against Rayo Vallecano, and Jens really appreciated the hours and hours that go into, you know, a 5-minute video that you might show the players, because you don't want to be showing the players too much information for too long, because players want to be out on the grass. They don't enjoy meetings too much, so you know, you've got to cram a lot of information into them short videos. And aside from that, there's iPads in the canteen every day. The players can sit and eat the breakfast or the lunch, and even the under-23s sit there, and on the iPads there's every single opposition player will be on there. If you click on his picture or his name, you'll get all these clips of what he's good at, what he's maybe where he needs some improvement, set pieces, all that type of stuff. So all the information is open to the players, and it's very much a department which is closely linked to the players. If the players want to go and see the analyst away from the coaching staff to go through some bits about their own game, for example, it's very much an open door policy, and it works very well.
Interesting stuff. I'm sure a lot of fans maybe don't realise about that side of the game so much. Just on Preston, how big a blow for them is it not having Ben Pearson available? Obviously he's suspended for 2 matches, I believe.
He is, yeah. It's a big blow for him because he's a big part of what they do, absolutely. But you know, looking at them, they've been on a decent run recently, and you know, in that midfield area, they've probably got a little bit of cover. It's probably one part of their squad that they've got, you know, real quality in there in terms of numbers as well. So That is a big miss for him, but doesn't concern us. He's not going to feature at the weekend, and whoever we come up against, we've got to go to battle with.
And just finally, Dean, Casey Palmer has been rumoured to be in. There might be some talks going on to sign Palmer permanently in the summer. Is there discussions going on about maybe bringing him in permanently to Ashton Gate?
Well, it's a good question, I have to say. I'm sure that it's on the lips of a lot of our supporters. In fact, my dad rang me about that last night, and it's the first I'd heard of it. So, no, it's obviously not a question I can answer. That I'm sure that's a question for Mark Ashton or for Lee himself. But Casey's done great. He's coming to the squad. He's settled in well. Obviously, he knows Jay De Silva, Thomas, Callas as well, and he's a big part of our squad for this season. Beyond that, as I say, I've not got the answer to that.
Is your dad a Bristol City fan then?
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice one. Cheers, Dean.
Cheers.
Good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.